Yo, what's going on? What is up? What is up? As y'all can see, we're doing something a little different today. So I'm gonna try to get some other people on here today. If y'all could let me know how it look, how it sound. Trying to get it pulled up here. Take a look. Real time. What's up, BG? Let me know how I look, how I sound, man. Hey, baby. Say, look, sound good. Appreciate it. So I'm gonna go ahead. You guys know this is Lunch with the Tech Gentleman. Figured I changed it up today. It's cold outside, so I had to bundle up a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead, bring on one of my main guys for Team 100, Mr. Android Stud in the building.
Hey, what's going on, Tech? What's going on, man? I love the hat. Love the hat.
Oh yeah, man.
That's the one thing I gotta get some gear, man. I got like no Android Stud merchandise.
Yeah, man. I've been trying to take advantage of it, man.
Yeah, it looks nice. I love it. Yeah, it's a little cold here. It's about 60.
Yeah, man. I got one of my friends, his mom is kind of like starting up a business where she does like merchandise and stuff like that. So I've been trying to patronize her when I can. I'm telling her whenever she's ready for the volume, I got a whole gang of guys that's ready to take advantage of it. You know?
Yeah, I think I've seen that hat. Let's Talk Tech. Is that the other one they made, or?
Yeah. Let's Talk Tech.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah, man. Yep. But like I say, I let her know that I'm ready. And whenever she wants to test out something, like she doesn't really do many hats, so she made me a couple. This is one that was pretty good. The downside was I found out how big my head was because some of the ones she made were just too small. Even like some of the snapbacks, I'm like, wait a minute, this is fully adjustable and it's not adjusting right. I fit my head still. This is a problem.
That's great.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So you on? Obviously, we've seen the title of the stream. It's S21 season. I know you went ahead and scooped one up. Yeah. So you got the big boy, right?
Yeah, I got the big boy. I got the UAG Lucent case.
I see you.
Nice little case. And then, man, I honestly don't have, like, I usually have some bad things that, like, with the Pixel 3 XL, or no, the Pixel 2 XL, the screen was just terrible. It had that blue screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and then Pixel 3 XL, the notch.
Yep.
Pixel 4 battery was a little terrible.
Yeah.
The S20, I think I had the S20. It was a little small. Felt like a little toy.
Yeah.
I guess the S20 Ultra, I didn't have that one, but I know there were some issues with the focus. So that, and it was very expensive.
Silly expensive.
Yeah, and there's always something with a phone that it's kind of a deal breaker where you kind of want to be, you're like, I think I'm going to put this back in the box.
Yeah.
So, and it could be something as little as, do I need the upgrade? Is my Note 10 Plus good enough? Or do I need the Note 20 Ultra?
Yeah, you got to ask those questions.
Right. But with this, there's no SD card slot. No MST.
Yep.
Those things are nice, but
Yeah.
they're not. I really am enjoying the whole experience of this, and the cameras are just the flexibility and all the options that you have on it just make it a real pleasure to use
Yeah.
on a daily basis. I was
Yeah.
listening to John Rettinger on Viper Stream, and he kind of echoed a lot of what you were saying last year with the Note 20 Ultra of just just the portfolio of that camera on the Note 20, all the things that you could do with it.
Yeah.
And now they added another lens. So you
Yeah.
got 4 lenses. The front facing camera has dramatically improved, I think, on this S21 Ultra. So I wouldn't bother too much with the other ones. If you do have them, I'm interested to see how they compare with the FE and the 20 and 21 Plus.
Well, yeah. So it's funny you say that because I actually they're calling it the S21 FE, which is the baby version.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the actual S20
Oh
FE
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So as far as size wise, the S20 FE is a little bit bigger, but pretty much in every other metric, the S21 is better than the FE,
Yeah.
especially
I
if you're gonna
mean,
pay that price.
yeah, just looking at you with those up, put them up again next to each other.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that FE phone. I think the internals are great for the money, but
yeah,
it to me it just feels like the A line a little bit,
yeah,
kind of.
definitely.
But that's a good looking phone, that S21 that you got. I
Yeah,
like the
yeah. The white
I
with
just
silver
like
is clean.
yeah, Samsung did a really good job with the design language with the cameras on the back this year.
Yeah, yeah. They leaned into it, and also I'd be shocked if it didn't make the phone more durable. Outside of the fact that the back
Yeah,
is plastic now, so that's the thing
yeah.
as well. But and the plastic feels good. So I did a test. I handed my wife the OnePlus 8T, and I handed her
Oh,
the
okay.
S21, and I
Mm.
asked her what she thought they were made out of, and she actually thought the S21 felt like it was made out of better materials than the 8T. And I mean,
Wow.
if nobody tells you, you would never think that this is made out of plastic. Like unless you're outside, like I am, and it's cold, and you pick it up, it's like obviously it's a little
Well,
lukewarm still.
that's good to know.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
quality of this is definitely not cheap plastic. Like
eh,
it feels even better than
right.
the FE.
Yeah, and I think the color too helps, that white.
Yeah,
Um,
and
I think
it's not a cheap, like it's not a
no,
cheap loud white. It's like a kind of pearlescent, soft matte white. They did
right.
everything you could do to plastic to make it feel nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know, because that's an $800 phone. Um,
Yep.
you don't get the quad HD, but you do get the 120 hertz at
Yeah.
1080, which is, a good compromise.
Yeah. Yeah. The display is great. The fingerprint sensor. How do you feel about the fingerprint sensor?
Oh my God, it's night and day. Let me see if I can maybe do it on here on video. Um, it is just over. I'm like thinking I have like a whole studio here.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's like instant, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Definitely a lot better. I'd say it's just as quick as the OnePlus fingerprint, which has been, I think, the standard.
yeah, because this is the second generation of their ultrasonic, which is
Yeah.
very much improved. I mean,
Yeah.
that is
Definitely.
there's some definite improvements on it. As far as, and, you could kind of get into that debate too with the S21 and S21 Plus, that it's only 1080p, but
Hmm.
remember that the S20, S21 Plus, in order to ride out with that 120, you got to be on 1080p. So I guess you got to kind of balance the two,
Hmm.
because you can't go full time quad HD at 120 on those phones. So you can
Yeah.
only do that with the Ultra or the Tab, S7 Plus.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I think, like you're saying, at that point, like, what are your options really? Like, if that's something you want to do, what would
Right.
you have to pay to do that? And it's definitely more than $800. It's a lot more than
Right.
800.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
mean
agree with that.
that's a really well. It's good to know, man. That's because I've been dogging it without even having it.
Yeah, man. So the only reason I got it was because I took advantage of a deal through T-Mobile,
Yeah.
where if you trade in a Pixel 4a, they give you
Right.
the S21 for free. And so to me, I'm like, that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, because you're getting
Yep.
it. You're getting it basically for because the Pixel 4a is what 350,
Yeah,
brand new, $400 with tax. Yeah. So you're man, you're basically getting that for $400. That's a steal.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't beat that. I mean,
Well,
even
well,
though
no.
it's
So it's an even swap. Like they give you
right.
$800 credit for the
No,
4A.
I'm saying that like a regular person, if they bought the 4A,
Oh yeah, you're
it
saying
would be
after the difference
350,
between the two.
right? And
Yeah,
350. So, you know,
yeah. You
so
paid
yeah,
that 400.
you're basically getting that phone off for almost $500-600 because right now 4A you can't sell it for maybe 250 if you're
Yeah,
lucky.
definitely.
So you're basically getting that phone for free,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah, you're getting it for free. So
yeah,
now
yeah.
does the 800 is it a monthly credit for the 2 years?
Yeah, so what they do is they give you an initial credit. So they give you a trade-in value, like your street trade-in or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. They give you that as a one-time credit, and then they give you
Okay.
the difference between that and whatever 800 is in bill
What
credits.
was your, what was your one-time credit?
So the one-time credit for the Pixel 4a for T-Mobile was $97.
I knew it. I knew
That's what
it.
they valued the Pixel 4a at. So
God
they're
bless them, bro.
yeah, so it's crazy. So if you weren't taking advantage of a deal and you just had a Pixel 4a and you went in and you were like, hey, I want to buy a new phone, they would give you $97 for your 4A, and then you'd be responsible for paying the rest. So
Yeah. Wow. That's funny.
yeah,
I saw you smiling. I knew it was like $99. I was gonna say it was
yeah,
$99.
yeah. It was crazy, crazy cheap, and
Yeah, but that's
that's kind of
okay.
par for the course, man. Because I think they save all those deals for trying to
Yeah.
get new customers during the year and stuff like that.
Hey, you know what? So we went over the design with the S21 over the FE. What about the actual screen? Is it
Yes,
better? Okay.
yes,
Yes.
it's noticeably better.
And
It
then
just
the
seems clearer than the FE screen.
what about cameras
Easily
and the little
better,
time? Easily better.
easily better. I don't know if it's a combination of the having the Snapdragon 888 in there, but the responsiveness of the camera, focusing, um, the pictures across all the lenses just look better because they essentially have the same setup, right? So you got three lenses on both,
Mm-hmm.
wide, standard, and telephoto.
Right.
But the S20 is just quicker to do everything camera wise.
And the does that do 8K?
It does.
Nice.
Yep.
4K on 4K 60 front and back or just back?
Let me see right quick.
Yeah, I'm curious. It probably
Yeah,
does both.
yeah, because I think the Note 20 did 4K 60 on all of them.
Yeah, it did.
Let's see. Yeah, 4K 60 on the front and back. And I want to check
Wow, that's
the
great.
wide and the zoom lenses as well because that was another thing they were saying was that you get 4K 60 across all the lenses now.
Right.
So, let's see. Uh, so you only get 4K 60 on the wide and the standard. You don't get it on the zoom lens, which
I
you
don't
know,
think I get that. Let me see on my Ultra. I don't know if I get it on the 4K 60 on the. I don't think so. Let me see. 4K. I like the menus too. How you could just go to it like instantly.
yeah, I like that they're taking advantage of that space that they got up there now.
Yeah, they're really. Trying to think here.
Yeah. And while you're looking at that, I'm gonna hop in the chat.
Yeah, do
So,
it.
so we got BG in here. What's going on, bro? Got my baby in here.
Yeah, I guess it does do 4K. I don't know if I'm doing. No, it doesn't do
Yeah,
the
because if you
the heavy.
go to video,
No,
then
it
go up
changes.
to where you select the resolution. If you go to 4K,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do it on the Zoom.
No, no, it goes back out to the either wide, either ultra wide or standard wide.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess they bypass the zoom lenses.
That's fine. I
Yeah,
guess you
that's what
could
I was
just zoom
saying.
in.
Yeah.
You could zoom in a little bit. I think when I did the 4K 60 watt ultra wide, I could only do 3 times zoom during the video,
Yeah. I mean, I think
which
zooming during
was
video is kind of
fine
yeah.
because I was able to. If you see my video, shameless plug, um, you're kind of like I mean, you got kids,
Mhm.
like you're shooting them doing cheerleading or playing football, whatever. It's good enough for that,
Yeah.
because you're not watching your kid like a real football game where you need like 50 times zoom. You're not going to need that. Your kid is
Yeah.
right in front of you, basically, or close enough that you're just going to zoom in a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I will say the one thing I do notice, and uh, I don't know if smartphone manufacturers. I think iPhone does a good job with it,
Mhm.
and Samsung, I think for the most part, and I think Google tried to jump on the bandwagon with the Pixel 4a where they didn't have the wide angle.
Yeah.
I think I notice like a lot of soccer moms and dads out at the park when they're
Mhm.
taking pictures or video, they're always zooming in, man.
Oh yeah.
They're you see them.
Yeah.
They get a picture, they crop in, then they take that picture, and then they send it out to they text it or send it on Instagram. So
Yeah.
I mean, I wide angle is great. I think it's a feature that should always be there, but I think
Yeah.
people tend to use the zooming in feature a lot more than us techies think that they use it or we use it.
Yeah. I think it doesn't matter really until you have kids, man. Because I think for the most part, like you're trying to capture either yourself, so you worry about the
Right,
selfie performance. You don't need a zoom for selfie, obviously. And then if
right.
you're using the rear camera, you're taking, you're filming some people where you don't
Mm-hmm.
really have a limitation, or it the importance of being able to get up close and see the face doesn't really
Right,
matter as much until you have kids. Once you have kids, like my daughter, she does dance. She's on the stage in
right.
the auditorium. I want to get in there. I want to see. I want as clear a picture from the back row or wherever
Yep.
I'm at as possible.
Right.
And that's a not really a nit situation, but I think that because no camera has done it, a lot of people don't have expectations that that's something that a camera phone can do.
Yep.
And so that's an area of opportunity for the cameras. But as far as the others go, especially if you're in daylight, like today is bright outside, you got sunlight. I mean, as far as video goes, you could pick up pretty much anything, especially since most of the time you're going to watch it back on the phone, right? Like you might watch it back on a laptop. Like
Right.
chances are you're not going to edit it. You're not going to put on your 75-inch TV and
Right.
watch it
Right.
back.
Exactly. It's true.
So
It's
even
true.
if you zoom in 10 times or 5 times and it's 1080p, it'll look fine on your phone.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. You're right. Have you ever done that? You take pictures and then you'll pop them up on Google Photos on your laptop or your tablet, and you're like, wow, that came out pretty good. Like because
Yo.
the little on your smartphone it looks good, but then you put it on your tablet or like I was looking at some pictures the other day
Mhm.
and I was like, man, these these actually came out pretty good. It's a
Yeah.
shame we don't get to see what the picture really looks like on our phone a lot of times, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I'm going to finish out the chat and I'm going to move on.
Yeah, do it.
Mark in the building. What's going on with you? See, technically T in the building. Appreciate you for stopping
What's
through,
up,
bro.
T?
BG says I'm waiting to see what drop later this year. I got some thoughts on that. We're gonna touch on that. There's
Yep.
already some rumors floating around as far as what Samsung's going to do, and
Mm,
it's pretty much lining up with my predictions earlier.
mm.
Mark says he's waiting on this Ultra to be delivered today, so he's about to
Ooh.
dive into that S21 life. BG says
Mm-hmm.
his Note 20 Ultra is still his go-to, which I can't really complain about. Man, the Note 20 Ultra is super solid. Uh,
It's a good
And I
phone.
think that's it, man. Yeah, I don't blame them. I think BG said they picked up the baby S21 as well, which I think that for the price, and you get like the majority of the features. There's still one feature I want to try out, which is specific to this device with the Galaxy Buds Pro, which is the Dolby like
Mm.
spatial audio. Like it's
Oh yeah,
supposed,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it only works with One UI 3.1, which is on the S21 and the Tab S7, ironically. So it'd be dope
Right.
if that worked with the
Yeah.
Tab S7, obviously. But I just want to try that out because I know that the Sonys they support their 360 reality audio or whatever, but it's super um, app specific, right? It's certain music apps that are like niche apps, and they
Mm.
have to be recorded in a certain format. I'm hoping that with this 360 audio being like backed by Dolby, that's a little bit better supported, especially with it being in video.
Hmm.
That'd be dope. So I'm curious about that. Um,
Yeah, I gotta check that out because I got the Tab and
yeah.
I got the Buds Pro. I'm actually wearing them now,
Oh, okay.
and
That what you're talking on?
yeah,
Oh, okay. They sound good, man.
yeah. I made a couple phone calls today, and I asked a buddy of mine, I'm like, how do I sound? He goes, you sound like you're talking on your phone. What do you mean? How do you sound?
Yeah, man. Like I saw them in your ears, but just the fact
Yeah,
that you're using the mics on them is
yeah, man. Using the
perfect.
mics on Bluetooth and I'm on the Tab S7 Plus right now, and
Really. That update
yeah,
must have
man.
helped the camera out or something, man. Because
Yeah,
anytime I
yeah,
try
and
to,
then yeah, right. I know, right? Well, I did the update, so I don't know if they hooked it up a little bit, but
yeah, I have to
the other
try that.
thing is I don't know, man. I think Apple almost got me with that ecosystem, but
Yeah,
I got out of there, man. I got out of the end zone. But I think Samsung might they might pin me here because the Buds Pro
yeah. How you like
connect
them?
to here, but if my I'm really digging them. I didn't think when I first put them on my ear, I'm like, they kind of like the same thing.
Hmm.
So I put them away that night, and then the next day I'm like, all right, let me just use them. So I'm kind of getting used to them because I was using the Air Pros or whatever. What do they call it? AirPod Pros. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was using those, which I like those a lot.
Hmm.
And but the cool thing about this is I'm on with you right now on this StreamYard or whatever you this live stream, right? So if
Yep.
my wife calls me right now,
Hmm.
it'll disconnect from the tablet, and I can pick up my phone and answer, "What's up, baby? What's for lunch?"
Yeah.
Hang up with her, and it'll go right back to the tablet without me doing anything.
Yeah. That's
It's
one reason why.
seamless.
That's one. And so it's funny because they have a feature actually called seamless audio, but it doesn't work like that. Like for the life of me, I'm trying to figure out because the Buds Plus are supposed to support it. There's nothing seamless about it. Like,
Mm,
and if you remember when Bluetooth first came out, one of the big updates, I think it was Bluetooth like 4.1 or something like that, or 4.0.
right.
You had multi-point, and
Mm,
I have a pair of um, Sennheiser HD2 or Momentum Wireless, whatever you want to call them.
right.
They're over-the-ear noise canceling headphones. They support true multi-point, and they do that exact same thing. And it's not a software, it's not anything. It's like I connect it to my tablet and I connect to my phone, and I can literally be watching a video on both. I hit play on my phone, it plays from there. I hit play on my
Mm-hmm.
tablet, it automatically picks up on the tablet and go back. It'll
Mm.
go back and forth. So to me, that feature is existed already, but not a lot of manufacturers support it for some reason. And now Samsung is bringing it back, but it seems like it's tied to their Samsung ecosystem.
Yeah, there's something weird and freaky, man, because it was going back because like my daughter called me and I went to go like to turn on the and she's like hello and then she was already there and then I went and when I hung up with her I was watching YouTube on the tablet and then I hit play and the audio was already there and I was like oh you guys are sucking me in big time like I'm
Yeah,
done and then the other cool feature you probably know this because you know Samsung pretty good and you had the tablet the text message on the tablet
yeah,
is
yeah,
I'm done, man. I mean,
yeah, man.
it's scary because I text my wife on the tablet and then I look
Hmm.
at my phone and it's on my phone too.
Yeah,
So then she texts me back on my phone, then I text her back and then I go back to my tablet. Oh, I forgot to and it's all there too. And I'm
Yep.
like, oh, they got me bad. They got
Yeah,
me
man.
real bad. And then I was doing for work this morning. I was interviewing this guy for the Super Bowl on the
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs. So I had the Zoom uh, on one side, multi-window,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my questions on the other side that my reporter sent me. He said, "Hey, can you ask me these questions?" I wasn't able to get them in,
Mm-hmm.
so I had them split screen on there. I'll send you a picture. I'll put it on Twitter, and
Yeah.
it was great, man. They're like, "Oh, Leo's next," and then the lady, the moderator, she goes, "You want to ask questions?" So I'm like looking at my question, so I had to look down at my phone. I had everything right here,
Yeah.
and man, and I was doing a video last night, and I had the tablet there with my Google Keep Notes
Mm-hmm.
talking about the 21 Ultra. I had it to the side there, so
Yep.
I don't have to. I mean, I still stumble because you know me. I can talk a mile a minute, and then I'm just like I just forget, and I'm like looking over, knock the tablet over. You know how it is, but
Oh yeah, man.
man, it's just with my workflow. This might be a happy place for me. So I'm really enjoying all this Samsung swag.
Yeah, man. That's I think that's the thing that Samsung has been working on, but it's been like almost like behind closed doors in a sense. Because one thing that Apple does better, and this was highlighted to me when one of my friends, he's been like diehard Samsung, right? Every year we get to know together, you
Mm.
know, all the Samsung stuff, and then he just got bored and he went over to Apple, and he's like just enamored with Apple now. He's coming in like, "Hey, yo, did you know you could do this? You could do that," and just how everything works together. And I'm like, bro, like half the stuff you're saying you can do on the Samsung, and it's not like
Hmm.
when people think about doing stuff on a app on an Android device, they think that about somebody like selling a computer and hacking it and plugging it up and flashing ROMs and all that. And like Samsung has literally been working on this stuff. Like even the call and text message stuff, you can do that on the PC as well. Like you can get
Hmm.
all of that stuff on your PC, have your full phone emulated on there. But Apple still is better at presenting those features to you
Right.
to where you know about them. Like you can have a Samsung device and a Samsung tablet and never know that they can even do that. And
Yeah,
so I
it's
think that,
incredible.
yeah, I think that's still a weak point for Samsung. And I don't know if it's because they don't fully own the device. So even though you
Hmm.
buy a Samsung, you still go through the Google setup and not a Samsung specific setup like you would on the
Right.
Apple device, where they can walk you through each feature and like, hey, do you want to set this up? Hey, did you know you can do this? Do you want to set that up? So I don't know how they'll combat that, man. But as of right now, if you're on Apple and you're kind of hooked into the ecosystem, specifically the iPhone, iPad ecosystem, as of right now, there's no advantage to having an iPhone and iPad together that you don't have on a Samsung phone and tablet, especially with the have you used the nearby share yet?
I used it with my wife,
Mhm.
sending her some pictures, and that's been pretty cool. But I haven't done it with the tablet, but I want to do it because um, my tablet has the stuff that I shoot on my Sony camera. So
Oh, okay.
sometimes I post pictures, so I'm looking forward to using that because that's going to be because I will say AirDrop is kind of magical.
Yeah,
Um, but the nearby share is a little bit of a um,
it's got more
I think it'll
steps.
yeah, I think it'll be something that I can utilize. Um,
Yeah,
but AirDrop is definitely magical. But
yeah.
this nearby share is a good compromise for people that are on Android, for sure. I think the one upper hand that the Samsung ecosystem has over the text messaging is iMessage. I believe on the iPad. I could be wrong. I'm not an Apple Pro. I'm an Android stud. Um, is when I text everybody, I get it on my tablet, and I think iMessage is the only thing that you can text on your iPad, not regular SMS.
Oh,
Correct or incorrect? I think I'm
that,
right. I think
that's
the
a
only
good
yes,
question.
but on the Samsung they have the upper hand because all the text messages are able to go back and forth because
That's
it's
a good question.
SMS. Yeah, because
It-
it's SMS.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
iMessage is not SMS. It's
It's
their own
iMessage.
right. It's iMessage. It's their own.
Yeah.
Um, Now, does Samsung Messages, which I'm using because I'm trying to be totally Samsung,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
is it RCS? Is it going to get RCS? How does that all kind of filter out?
So there was supposed to be an RCS update recently. There was a way you could go into the dialer before now and enable RCS in the Samsung Messages app, but I believe that it's supposed to support RCS now, like out the
Mm.
gate. And
Jump in the
you can kind of
chat.
quickly look and tell
Mm-hmm.
if you see like the little status bubbles by people.
Right.
Let's see,
Yeah, you
go
got
to
some questions there.
the settings. Uh, let's see. So BG says the Buds Pro sound good. They're a viable option, and I'm definitely looking at getting them because how Samsung does every year. Basically, when you pre-order a Samsung device, you get a couple $100 of Samsung credit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll definitely be picking those up with that credit. He says they're trying to get more like iMessage. I
Yep.
mean, that's definitely been the gold standard, right? So when you talk to a lot of Apple people, iMessage is specifically a reason why they can't go anywhere else. Like they'll tell you. I've had people that
They ain't going
are like
nowhere, bro.
drooling over Android
Yep.
phone, but they're like, but I can't use iMessage. Like all the rest of my family's on iMessage. I can't. Yeah, I can't do that. And it's not even the interoperability that you get with iMessage. Like they're not using it on their Mac, they're not using it on their iPad. It's just the kind of um, community feel that they have on iMessage with other people with iMessage because there are things you can do, like you can send a 4K video full res in
Right.
iMessage to people.
Yep.
They have their little like the little emoji stuff and
Mm-hmm.
the pictures and the gifts and the
Yep.
activities and all that stuff. So the iMessage is definitely a hook for a lot of people. RCS solves a couple of those problems. The biggest one for me is image and video quality. Like you can send a full res video over RCS and the other person receive it that way, which
Yep.
I think helps with the expectation of quality. Because I think when you like we were talking earlier about people like recording a video and then they pinch the zoom in and now their kid looks like Mario Brothers. Like that expectation, they'll get that product less and less now. And
Right.
so they'll notice that when they do see like, oh, this looks bad. Like let me not do that. Hopefully.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But let's see. BD says, how big are the files you're sending? So what I use Nearby Share for is I've been recording some videos on the S20 FE and I'm recording 4K 60 and the files will be 3-4 gigabytes. Like the
How,
biggest thing,
how long does it
it,
take?
um, if I had to say like per gigabyte, it's probably like maybe a minute per
That's not
gigabyte.
bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. And there was somebody from CNET who did a comparison between AirDrop and Nearby Share, and AirDrop was like a hair faster with sending
Hmm.
files. But the biggest problem, because there have been other protocols like that in the past, right? Where it's like, oh,
Right.
you can like if you look at the Samsung share menu, it's a whole bunch of crap that you've never used, like quick share and link creation and all this other stuff that's supposed to allow you to share big files. But the good thing about Nearby Share is it's local, it's device to device, but it's consistent. Right. I've never
Hmm.
had it not finish sending a file. Right. I don't have to sit there
Hmm.
and wait for it to finish. Like it literally tells you, like once you start it, it's like this will finish, go do something else. And you go do something
Hmm.
else and the in the notification shade, you get the status update and it just finishes like every time it completes it, no matter what you go off and do. So I like that it has that consistency because I think that would be an issue for a lot of people. Like, oh, this is supposed to be an airdrop competitor. Let's really see what y'all talking about. And you
Mm-hmm.
say you're going to send a video and it craps out halfway through. Like you're never going to use it again. So that's one cool thing about Nearby Share. BD says I send 4K videos from my phone, my iPad. Yeah, man, I'm doing the same thing. And the beautiful thing is I can pick up my LG, and because it's an Android feature and not a Samsung feature, I can shoot a video on my LG, open up Nearby Share, my tablet comes up, my phone comes up, and I just tap what I want to drop it to, accept it on that other device, and it's off to the races. Like it's not device, it's not brand specific. So you get that openness. Same thing with OnePlus, pick it up, it doesn't matter. BG says I got to call Timmy Apple. Wavy Jazzy Jeff in the building. What's going on, man? Cool. BG says I do have to watch AirDrop. Yeah, and I've never used AirDrop because we've never had an iPhone and an iPad. at the same time in the house. So I don't have much experience with AirDrop. I've heard about it. It's always sounded like a fantasy in Android land, but the fact that Google actually implemented it, I think helps a lot with it having the priority on the device to where it doesn't crap out. Like they can like prioritize it to where like no other task going to shut it down. The Android OS isn't going to cut it off or choke it out. Like it's dope. And once again, a lot of people don't know about it because there's no like it's not being pushed. There's no marketing for it. When you go to set up your phone, like they don't introduce these features to you, which I
Right.
think is a struggle for Android devices. But yeah, man. So you say that your Samsung might be hooking you in, huh?
Yeah, I didn't even realize I have the tablet, I have the S21 Ultra, I have the Buds Pro, and I have the Galaxy Watch 3,
Yeah.
Galaxy Watch, the 3.
Oh yeah.
I actually forgot to wear it today. I'm so pissed. Because it's kind of nice to have that. But yeah, man, I mean, all I need is a Samsung car, and I'll be I'll be good
Hey,
to go.
hey,
I mean, I'm not
Samsung.
a
I think they're
yeah,
working on that too.
I guess I'm a Samsung warrior. I'm not a knight yet, but I'm getting to that place where, shoot, they just it's just they just offer a lot, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
the nearby share is great because I send pictures. I don't like to text pictures to my wife because sometimes I don't know what goes on with the text messaging. Sometimes she'll be like,
Yeah.
"That picture's blurry,"
Yep.
so we use the nearby share now, and she
Yeah.
has the Pixel 4 XL.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
she gets it like right away, man. And it's like
Yep.
I use the AirDrop for pictures mostly. I didn't use it for video because I really don't shoot video on an iPhone and utilize that on my channel.
Yeah.
So I shoot on the Sony and just drop it in right with the USB SD card adapter, whatever it's called.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I'm gonna use that nearby share for my phones. There's some other thing on here I didn't even see with Samsung. I thought it was a text messaging thing, but it was something else. I think I
Mhm.
think it's what you were talking about to send like bigger files. Because I'm like, where's my text message? And then I realized that the tablet has a messaging app already kind of part of the OS. So I was like, okay, I got it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yep. Uno Nice in the building. What's going on, man?
What up,
Appreciate you for
Uno?
stopping through. Just chopping it up about the S21s, man. If you don't know, Stud has the big boy, the Ultra. I have the baby of the bunch, the regular S21. And
Yep.
so what all cases do you have, man? I know that's a
I
a
have the
mile long question.
yeah, I have the I just taped a video last night for the one you like, the leather one, the brown
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
and they have the I have the brown one and the black. I like, but they really Samsung really stepped up their game on the that leather cover this year
Oh, okay.
because because the there's a cover on it uh, built into the case
Hmm.
that they didn't have last year. Last year was an opening, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually a protective cover. So the brown one is gold and the black one
Mhm.
is silver. So you know you're it. They did a phenomenal job with it. I mean, it's an expensive case. It's
Yeah,
$50, but I mean it's real leather. Um, it you can scuff it up and it gets it has its marks on it. You know how leather is. It gets its own
yeah,
kind of personality after a while. Like that's your case. Like if
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
tried to jack you for it, you'd be like, wait a minute,
yeah. Yeah, that's
that's
me. I
my
remember that mark.
yeah. I remember that mark. It's like where you going with my case?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, this one is the UAG Lucent case, and the thing about I like this little. It's a TPU clear case,
Mhm.
and it's got like those little bubbles on it. So
Oh,
when
okay.
you it's almost like a texture inside. So when you
Mhm.
put it on your black or your white or whatever, it kind of brings out those little bubbles
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, you
So
can
this
see
is
it in
the
the camera.
Lucent. This is about $30, and
Yeah.
then also have the black The Pathfinder one, the big one, the heavy duty rugged joint.
Oh, okay.
That one's $49. That one's a little more expensive. That one's a black midnight black camo. So
Oh,
that
okay.
one, oof, man.
Looks good.
Yo, I did a video for that one last night too. I did a bunch of videos last night. I just went in the garage and went crazy. I'm like, I'm taping videos now. Everybody's sleeping.
Yeah.
So I guess me and you we were very similar, man. Me and you.
Yeah.
But I know how it is, man. To try to do a video is tough. But
Yep.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, but those two cases are good. Even when I was doing the video on this one and the black camo one, man, I
Mhm.
needed a moment, man. The cases are. I was like, can I pause the video because we're gonna go spend some time together. I'll be right back. But I also have some cases from a company. You probably heard of them, ESR.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great company, man. They reached out to me. They actually have a kickstand case
Yeah.
similar or kind of like Ghost Tech.
Hmm.
But it's a clear case with a kickstand and the kickstand is really good because it's got great tension in it. So it's
Hmm.
not like you open it up and you could just only put your phone one length. It has so much tension that you can kind of adjust it. So if you wanted your phone this way, bro, when you see that
Okay.
video, you're gonna be like, I gotta check that case out.
Yeah.
They also gave me some screen protectors for the lens
Okay.
and the screen. I put the screen on here, screen protector on here, which isn't bad. But it's not a
Hmm.
tempered glass. It's just protected from scratches.
Yeah.
So those are kind of cool. Um, I think the rear protector from them, I think was kind of messing with the photos a little bit, so that took it off.
Oh, okay.
So I still got to run some tests. And then you got the standbys, poetic,
Yeah.
Rinky, um,
Yeah.
spec,
Yeah. Spec
uh,
subcase.
subcase.
Flooding.
A
Yeah.
couple, iBlazin, which is very
Yeah.
popular with a lot of bigger YouTubers. They have
Yep.
a lot of those girly cases, with all the different colors.
Yeah. They're
Um,
winning right now.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
my
and
wife's
then
go-to. We got
yeah, that those are a lot of females go to. A
Yeah.
lot of women use that case.
Yeah, I mean they kind of cornered the market because I remember when they first sent them to me for what phone was that? It wasn't I don't think it was a Note 20. I think it was maybe the phone my wife had before that. But whatever their first set of Cosmo cases was, because that's the brand of the cases.
Hmm.
My wife saw them. They had like a pink and a purple, and ever since then, she's like, "I need this." Like when she got her iPad, she's like, "Do they have the
Oh
Cosmo
yeah,
case for the iPad?" I'm like,
yeah,
"They got it for a Samsung device. I know they got it for
yeah,
all the Apple
yeah,
devices." And sure enough, now she's walking around all matchy matchy with the
yeah. No,
phone.
they love that one. I'm telling you. And
Yeah,
there's another company. I think it's probably owned by iBlazin's kind of umbrella of cases.
yeah,
Clayco. I think it's called Clayco,
yep, yep. I
and
got a
they got
couple
some
of those as well.
yeah, they got some cases also, and then Schnell with
Yeah,
the big heavy duty ones. Those
yep.
are good, man. I like to keep those in my drawer because if I ever go mountain biking or doing heavy duty stuff like on vacation, I like to
Hmm.
bring that with me, man, because
Yeah, and it don't cost the arm and a leg either. You're
this
not
is an
paying
expensive phone.
exactly.
At work I'm good because that's the other thing, man. How you could do the light flash when you get a text on the
Yeah, yeah,
Samsungs. Man, I love that. I miss that when I don't have the Samsung.
yeah, yeah. Man, I'm gonna hop into the comments. Uno Nice is in the building. He says S21 series is meh. Cameras are very nice, great video stabilization. I'm sure there's more, but me personally, I'm not interested in the S21 series. BG says, "What up, Uno?" Then Uno says, "But then again, I've been using the Z Fold 2, so there's nothing to compare it to, and I honestly don't know if I'll go back to using traditional phones. I'm sold on
Mm.
the Fold."
Well,
So,
Uno, we'll put it this way: all of us with the S21 series, this is hamburgers with cheese and French fries. Okay, the Fold, that's a steak with
yeah,
lobster tails and you
Yeah.
you're living the good life. We get it. I mean,
Yeah.
that Fold 2 is one of the best pieces of technologies that I saw last year, and bar none, bar
Yeah.
none. I mean, it's just a fun. If you utilize the Fold 2 and you love it as your daily phone
Yeah.
combination tablet, there is no way on God's green earth that you can go to a regular smartphone after that and
Yeah.
feel satisfied. It's
Yeah.
tough.
It'll always be a compromise.
Yeah.
I'm definitely sold on the Fold as well. My Fold 2 is actually on the charger. Because that's probably the most surprising thing coming from my Note 20. I get drastically better battery life on the Fold 2. I think it's because I end up using it closed a lot more than I thought I would. So you got the smaller, lower res screen
Right.
that you're interacting with a lot. So I didn't think the battery savings would be that noticeable, but I mean, I go to bed at night and I got 30%,
Right.
and I'm like, well, I'll throw another phone on the charger instead of putting this one on there. Also, it's COVID. I'm working remotely at the house. Like the need to be at 100% every morning isn't there either.
Right.
So maybe if I was going to work every day, it wouldn't make that big of a difference. But um, yeah, the Fold it's a whole nother monster. Like comparing it to a regular phone is not fair because they don't
No,
do the
it's
same
not.
thing.
It's not. It's almost, um, it's kind of like the Fold 2 is kind of like the Tesla of smartphones, where
Yeah.
it's you know, you know, you have a car, whether it's a Lexus, a Toyota,
Hmm.
BMW, but then there's somebody that has the Tesla, and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, it's a Tesla," and
Yep.
you're like, "Well, I got a Toyota Camry over here. You want to
Yep.
get in?" No, I'm good.
Exactly.
But it's like the Fold 2 is the Tesla of smartphones. It's just, it's not for everybody,
Yep.
but a lot of people like it.
Yep.
And I've seen in the tech community, you, Alan, not sure if Forbes or BG have gotten it,
No, I don't think so.
or Rob, yeah. So, but here's my $1 million question:
Yep.
the Fold 3
Hmm.
Ultra, or whatever they're going to call it, the top of the line with the
Yeah.
S Pen,
Hmm.
you know, with the coconut butter oil that it comes with. How much is that thing gonna cost?
So before the S21 Ultra came out, I
Yeah,
would say it was going to be like 2,500. Like there has to be some never before seen price on a folding device, a true folding device, the folding screen that has a Wacom digitizer in it, because they have to fold that digitizer as well. So I would assume there has to be some premium on it. If the base fold has been 2,000 for the past 2 years, it has to be more expensive than that. So I have to say maybe 22, 23, somewhere up in there. I would pray it's not reaching 25, but it's hard to say because if they came out with a super mega fold ultra 3000 and priced it at 2,500, and it has a big inside display that's beautiful, that's high refresh rate, that's high resolution, outside screen that's big, they both support pen input, you got actual great cameras on it versus what are on the Z Fold 2. um you don't have any other options. You can't go somewhere else and say, well, I can get everything that phone does for 2,000. Like you can't. Like it's the only show in town. So I'll you know I hope they don't get too greedy with it.
hmm
But if it was like 2,200 or something like that, I wouldn't be surprised, because the other thing that came out with the S21 Ultra was a way to give you pen functionality without bundling the pen. Right? That was always the question, because the rumors have been they're going to put pins on everything, but it's like, well, how are they going to stick the pins in this or that? The smaller phones, and they said like we're not. Like we're going to sell it separately. If you want it, you can buy it. If not, You know, you don't worry about it, and you don't pay extra for it, because when you look at the S21 Ultra, it's $200 cheaper than the S20 Ultra with
Hmm.
the pen compatibility.
Right.
So it's you know, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Like I say, it'd be great if it was 2K and they said get the pen if you want it. Um, if it was more than that, I wouldn't be surprised.
How much was the first one?
Like 1980,
And the second one?
smooth
2000?
1999. Yep, 2000.
Yeah. And you said the pin would be stored inside the Fold 3, or it would be a case situation like the Ultra, like the 21 Ultra?
Seeing the 21 Ultra, I don't know what kind of feedback they've gotten with that. I think it would have to be a case and a separate pen, just because either that or they put the pen in the box. That's the other option.
Yeah,
Um,
they put the pin in the box and
yeah, because it would
well,
literally be the most expensive
what would be a
device.
score? What would be a score? Because I don't know how you put a pin in a folding device like a Note 20 Ultra
Hmm.
where the pin's
Yeah,
inside. I just don't know how you. I mean, I'm sure there's a way. Maybe if the pin folds too. Breaking news right here. You heard it first. But maybe what would be great is if it was 21.99,
hmm,
which I mean, if it's Fold 3 and it's the King of Kings here, okay? But they gave you the
yep,
pin and the case and the box for 21.99.
yeah, yeah.
Then
I,
I
I,
think
I
that
agree.
would be acceptable in my book if you were to buy it. And like Uno says in the comments just
Hmm.
now, he said if you spent 2,000 on the Fold 2,
Yeah,
you'll be willing to spend 2,200.
yeah, and that I think that's important, because it's not the expectation. I'm sure Samsung knows everybody isn't going to buy this phone, right? That's not our goal. It's not for everybody. It's for the people that are willing to spend 2,000 on the phone,
Right,
and
right,
those people going from 2,000 to 22 for a an obvious increase in functionality and capability isn't going to be a big deal. So
right,
I agree. I could see that. And the S21 is the first device that they haven't bundled the pen with.
right.
Because even the tablets, they give you the pen for the tablet, even though the pen doesn't fit inside the tablet. So
Which is great, by the way, that you actually
yeah,
get the pin with this thing. And actually, the
yeah,
pin on this thing is actually really good. I was playing around with taking some notes, and I was like, because man, the one on the Pixel Slate was terrible, and the one on the
yeah.
Microsoft Pro 3 at the time,
Oh yeah, yeah,
oh, hot garbage. I mean, I was like, who designed this? A little kid? Like,
yeah,
you
man.
know, no offense to the kindergartners out there, but man, it was just I was now and then, because the Apple Pencil is pretty good, but
Yeah,
I actually think the Samsung Pen on the tablet writes a little better than the Apple Pencil. I don't know what it is. Like I can't draw worth a damn, but it
yeah.
makes you it's almost like when you see a guitar, you're like, damn, I wish I could play it. It's the same thing when I use the pen on this. I'm like, damn, I wish I could draw. But I'm
Yeah,
like, nah,
yeah,
we getting stick figures on this. But
yeah, yeah. What I
so
did,
my
my
go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
No, you
I
go
was gonna
get
say,
go.
my wife. To me, she was the my official tester, because my handwriting looks like hieroglyphics.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I got the Tab S7, I knew about all the increased, decreased latency and increased this and that. So the first thing I did, took out the box, set it up, and I gave it to him like here, because she actually uses her iPad for like hand drawn stuff and calligraphy and things like
Mm,
that. And I let her use it, and she doodled with it. And because she's been using like the pinnacle of drawing, to me, coming from a Tab S4 and older notes and all that stuff, I was like, oh man, this is great. I gave it to her. She's like, drew a couple. I was like, oh man. But it's pretty good though. Technically, it's supposed to be on the same level as the iPad, but the other downside to being on Android is the app support.
yeah.
So depending on which app you're using, The app might work better or work worse with the pen. Might be more responsive. It might support more features like pressure sensitivity or
Hmm.
tilting and detecting all that stuff. So if you're
Yeah,
using
because
the right app,
yeah,
it's great.
yeah, because I know on the Apple Pencil they added support where you on the Safari browser, if you write in the or
Yeah.
the if you write like ESPN.com, it'll
Mhm.
translate and take you to the website.
Yeah.
There were some other ones where you can. So if they add that for the Samsung Pen, that would be a game changer.
It's already
I
there.
don't use it that much. Oh, then there you go.
Yeah.
There
So
you
if
go.
you
I gotta use it.
so you have to be using the Samsung
Right,
keyboard, and if you tap on a text field, by default you have the option to where when you tap on the text field with the pen, it knows you have the pen, and it'll open
mm,
up a little box, and you can write out what you want.
oh my
It'll
God, I'm
drop it in.
telling you, I'm done. I'm in Samsung jail, and I think I'm doing 5 to 10. I swear.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if that's months or years, but
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. I know we're getting close to an hour here, but there's one
yeah,
thing
you.
that kind of in the same vein, the Apple Samsung competition I want to touch on, which is the schedule this year. So
Mm,
it's February what 2nd,
yep,
and the S device is already in people's hands. This is a
I
first,
know. Two
super
months
early.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that means that Samsung is going to have a mid-year release of something, right? And so that thing has to be some foldable, flippy thing. Right now, we
right,
think it's going to be the Z Flip 3, possibly some sort of like Galaxy Z Fold Lite or something like that. But obviously, the summer isn't showtime, right? The fall is showtime, right?
right,
That's when you get the Pixel, that's when you get your iPhone. So obviously, Samsung's going to leave some sort of heavy hitter for the end of the year.
right.
But the mid year, I think, is probably going to be more impactful because it'll have to be cheaper than whatever comes out in the fall.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
my
I
question
agree.
to you, I know you touched the Z Fold 2 for a little bit, but are you looking at any kind of, you know, foldables? You got your eyes on anything coming up? If they did come out
I
with like a
I think the
$1,000
one that
foldable.
yeah, I think the one that kind of intrigued. I'm kind of drawn to the flip a little more than I am to the fold,
Mm-hmm.
just because I'm kind of on the move all the time, and um I
Mm-hmm.
had the fold 2 for like a day or two,
Mm-hmm.
and the phone freaked me out. I felt, bro, I felt like when you're in high school and you come to the door to pick up your date, and the
Yeah.
dad looks at you and goes, "We understand each other. Do we understand each other?"
Yeah.
Yes, we do. I'll have her here at 9:58.
Yes.
It's almost like
Yes.
you took her out, you didn't touch her, you had whatever your dinner, and you brought her home at 9:57. That's
Yep.
how I felt with the fold, man. I was like, I would open it. I was like, so I guess that's my question to you and Uno in the chat if he's still there is,
Yeah.
do you use a screen protector on the big screen, on the little screen? Do you
So
worry about scratching it? I mean, do you put it in your pocket when you open it? Do you leave it on the table? I know you got the little girl running around. I mean, that would
yes, yes.
I got my dog, my German Shepherd. She would probably eat it, and
Yeah,
the
man.
grandson would probably be like, "Oh, is this a new tablet?" you know?
Yeah. So I definitely sweat bullets whenever my toddler runs around, like she knows what devices are, right? She'll walk up to my wife's iPad and I'll kind of like freak out because she'll have the pen and she doesn't really, if it doesn't do something that she wants to do immediately, her default is like, well, I'm going to start smacking it. And so
Yeah,
the fold isn't like that. Like it can't take no smacks. So whenever she's around, I get kind of nervous, start sweating until I find it and I fold it up, put it in my pocket. But surprisingly, when it's folded up, it's like a tank.
right. Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
think about it, it's
Fold it
got
up.
like
Fold it up. It's fine.
yeah, folded up is fine. And I think that's why I use it folded a lot more than open. Because especially if you're going to use it one-handed, it closed actually feels a lot more because you have that weight, you have that thickness.
Right.
It's more substantial. So I have more confidence using it closed. But open, initially I was like, well, I'm going to leave the Samsung original screen protector on there, and I made it probably about 2 weeks, and it
Right.
started getting kind of hard to keep clean and keep smudges off of. And as soon as one of like little corners started peeling up, I was like, okay, this is it. It's got to come off. But I had some others, right? So I peeled it up, and for the brief moment, I was like, this screen looks amazing without anything on it. And so I slapped another screen protector on there. That stayed on there for probably about 3 days. And just after over the course of using it, it's not as delicate. Like that's to me, that's probably the most impressive thing that Samsung did. Like the durability for what this device does is like through the roof. Like I think it is as durable as something can be that has a screen that looks that good. Like you would think, that a screen that folds that's in a phone that's this heavy and durable, like would look like 480p or something like that. Like the fact that it is like a high resolution, it's 120 hertz, OLED. I mean, it's beautiful and it folds, but it's not as like just kind of getting real comfortable with it and like, oh, I kind of dug my nail into it a little bit, or I find myself pressing hard. I close it with one hand now. I don't use a case on it a lot of times, especially if I'm in the house. Like it's butt naked. I'm worried I get too comfortable with it, but at this point, I've had it for a couple of months, and I mean, it's been solid, man.
Is there any scratches on the main screen or on the front screen?
No, so the front screen I don't use a tempered glass. I actually
But
use
use
like a little thin, clear film
right.
protector on it. And the only reason I do that is because to take advantage of some of the other modes, like where you can sit it down and fold it up a little bit to watch YouTube. We have YouTube at the top. You have to sit it on the front glass. And so that's the only reason I put that film protector on there. But outside of that, I mean, it's been
Well,
great.
I guess it does sound like it is pretty durable, because I guess if many people do have the phone, they would be posting, "Oh man, this thing scratched already," and even Uno says in the chat, he said the Z Fold 2 is not as fragile as I personally thought. Yes, I would definitely agree. It's not as durable as a Note or S series phone, but it's not as fragile as I thought. So
Yeah.
that's good to know, man, because that is one of the things that freaked me out about it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to scratch this. And you know how it is. We're like, if I scratch this, I'm going to be able to, I bought it for this. I can't sell it for that. Your brain starts playing the numbers game,
Yep.
You're like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing no buyer's remorse with this. At the time, I got it for, I think I want to say inside 15, around 1450 or something like that. I did trade it with some other phones.
Yeah.
And kind of, man, I flipped that thing quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. If you're gonna flip it, I mean, like like a lot of the ones that I saw, I mean, they had original film on them. Like the outside still had the original Samsung film on it, from like out the box. Not even a screen protector, but like the little film that like came on the S21 that you're supposed to peel off. Like a lot of people bought it with intentions to sell it. Like they weren't going to keep it. So you got those floating around, and then I say this, buying the second hand really gave you an option of accessories that you didn't have when it first came out.
That's true. You got a lot more now.
Yeah, so day one, I know Alan, he had his day one, and he was like, "There are no cases. Like, it's in the box. Like, I can't take it out the box." So, when I got mine, that was a big, kind of a big thing for me as well. It came with some cases. It had dbrand skin installed on it as well. So, yeah, man, it's like I said, the durability and the screen on the inside are probably the two biggest, most impressive things about it right now.
It was damn impressive when I did use it and put my information in, and I was like, but it was almost like, oh my God, I can't do this drug. I'm gonna be addicted. I'm done. Nah, my dad said, don't do that drug. You'll be done. So I was like, I'm not doing I'm not getting hooked on the Fold 2 drug. I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but
I think that's definitely the mindset to have, because like you say, once you get used to it, everything
yeah,
else feels like, I mean, every
yeah,
other phone that I've picked up since then that has felt like a toy. Like I hold the phone, I'm like, I know this is a nice phone, but it feels like a toy.
yeah. Well, you know what they say, man. Once you go seeking, you stay Puerto Rican.
I have to keep that in the back of my mind, man.
Yeah, man.
I
So,
never heard that.
but yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you that I will say I have no shame. Anybody who has it,
Mhm.
they love it. Everybody who has it loves it. So,
Yeah.
um, just it wasn't for me at the time.
Mhm.
Little pricey.
Mhm.
But like Uno says, I have the Ultra, the tablet, the watch, and the Buds Pro. So I
Yeah.
basically have the Fold 2.
Yeah, and
So
that was my approach. Like that was my mindset before. I'm like, I'm getting Note 20 Ultra. Like I've been looking
right,
forward to the new Note. Um, I know I want the new tablet because it's the first tablet that actually competes with an iPad. It's
it's
like I
very
gotta
good.
I need that in my life. And once you do that, you're at Fold 2 territory.
Yeah,
But you couldn't take those two things from me and hand me a Fold and say, okay, this is an even swap. Like
right. That's true.
that's not the case, right?
No, it's not.
So I think that being able to have some way where the Fold can be a great phone, but as far as like it actually being your tablet, not for what I want to use it for. Like, it
Right.
couldn't
Yeah.
replace my tablet, so I had to get the tablet first, and then just like with all Samsung and Android devices, prices on stuff drops, pretty quickly. So
Right.
2-3 months after it came out, you were seeing people selling them for almost half off. So that was my approach. But this time, I know I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm just going to give it to Samsung, because by the time the new one drops, if they
You'll
give
get your
you
money back.
half, yeah, you almost get what I paid for it back by the
Yeah.
same
I mean,
thing.
they were giving 800 for the first one.
I thought they were giving a
So
thousand for the first one.
you're right. You were giving $1,000 for the first
Yeah.
one. So
So
that's a win right there.
yeah,
And sometimes trading a phone to Samsung is so much easier
yeah,
than you trying to sell it.
yep, yep, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up. I'm gonna hit the comments one more time, and then we're gonna
Yep.
peace out. So Uno and I said Z Fold 2 is a phone I would say people will have to actually experience, use it for themselves. Only you know how you carry around or use your phone. We as techies take care of our products, which I agree. It's definitely a personal thing you gotta experience. He says non-techies, I don't know if I recommend any foldable to them. That's true, especially for the price. BG says the fold is definitely scary. It is. It's new and high price. That's equal. That's a great recipe for fear. Stud. Uno Night says, Stud, I'm not gonna lie. When I first got the Z Fold 2, I was happy and blown away. But then the anxiety set in. I babysat the phone until I got the right case. Then I was good. No more
Hmm.
anxiety. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about before. Once the cases and stuff come out, it feels a little bit better. But it's a great device though. But
Yeah. Uno says the full 3-pin, it could be stored inside the phone. Doesn't have to fold. The phone won't have to be made a little thicker. Hmm, interesting.
yeah, I mean that'll be interesting. They could put it in a regular phone, so then putting it in the fold shouldn't be that big of a feat.
That's true because they could put it in the part that is, and
Yeah, they
then
could put it in the hinge somehow. I mean,
yeah. Oh.
that'd be possible. It's
Yeah.
definitely thick enough. But man, I'm gonna give you a chance to go ahead and shout out your channel, tell them what you got coming up. I know you're
Yeah,
doing
I
videos.
appreciate I appreciate you having me on. Lunch with the Tank Jet. This is great. This is
Thanks,
phenomenal, and it's been a good time talking about a lot of Samsung stuff. I'm really enjoying it. Doing some videos later this week. Come by YouTube at Android Stud, also on Twitter and Instagram. Check me out. I'll be releasing a video I think tonight or tomorrow on my first impressions on the S21 Ultra. Also, be doing some cases for this beast
Hey,
later in the weekend. So make sure you guys check that out.
yeah,
Thank
I
you so
definitely
much.
check it out.
I appreciate it.
Obviously, I'm the Tech Gentleman. You found my channel, the Tech Gentleman on YouTube, also the Tech Gentleman on Instagram, and the _Tech Gent on Twitter. I'll definitely be posting some content on the S21 as well. Probably doing some comparisons with the S20 FE. There seems to be a lot of what a lot of people are comparing the baby S21 to the FE. But until next time, guys, we're gonna holler at y'all. See you the same time next week. Peace.
Peace.